In this video, I'm going to show you how you can send ringless voicemail messages to your contact list while still taking advantage of all the personal contact information you have. As we all know, when it comes to ringless voicemail, you usually have to create a generic audio file that can work for every contact in your list. And for a long time, this worked well, but as you've probably noticed, consumers are catching on to this and often ignore generic messages as spam. However, those were the old days, and today, Phantom RVM allows you to send personalized information to every contact in your list using our new text-to-speech engine. As you can see here, I created a list of debtors for this example. We're going to create a campaign to call all of them instantly, but each message will contain personal information pertaining to just that contact. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, now, before we can create a campaign, we're going to have to upload our contact list. You can see in our list section that we've added an option called TTS for text-to-speech. So any list you intend to upload for a text-to-speech campaign must be uploaded here. So let's add a new one, give it a test name, and we're going to upload the list you just noticed here. Now you'll see our field mapping page. So we're going to identify every contact or every column in the list. And you'll notice also that this is an Excel file. Because of the way comma delimited format works, and because we wanted to be able to allow commas in the text-to-speech, we are only permitting right now at this point Excel uploads. So you'll see some of these fields are already noticed: number, first name, last name. Some of them are not. So for example, county is not one of our common fields. So we can actually add it in other fields called county, save, state has been recognized. Let's make another custom field. We'll call this one the creditor. And lastly, we'll call this one the debt, the debt amount. So save this, save, and boom. Now you can see 9 records have been successfully uploaded, and now we can go to create a campaign with the new list. So if you're familiar with our system, you'll recognize this, except now we've added a checkbox to indicate this campaign will be text-to-speech and we will not be uploading an audio file. So call this the debt test campaign. Get it 10 per minute. Every call should be less than 60 seconds. So let's do a phone number and set a DNC list. We'll do maximum retries, which you might recognize our other users. That's how many times we're going to reattempt a call that has failed and the amount of time between attempts. So this will be 30 minutes. Let's select the debt test list that I recently uploaded. And then here is where we create the message that we would like to use. So in this example, we could say hello. And now I want to put in the first name, maybe. First name. Let's even include the last name. Last name. This is an important call from a debt collector. We currently have an outstanding balance of, and it'll recognize the dollar sign as being a dollar, of this with, and let's put the creditor. If you do not make this payment, we must file a lawsuit against you in the, let's put the county Superior Court for the state of, and let's put the state. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now we'll go here. This is all remained the same since last time. If you're not familiar with our schedule settings, these are the days of the week that you want your campaign to run. This is the absolute beginning and end date of the campaign. So if you plan on finishing the entire campaign today, you can leave it as it is. If you don't know how long it might take, push the ending date out. The only consequence is this will basically stop your campaign from running anymore in the future. This is their daily start and end time. This will be in Pacific Standard Time. So this is the time that you want the campaign to actually be running. So let's say I don't want to call anybody after 5 p.m. Put 17 o'clock here, and that will stop the campaign at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The time zone calling is different. This is the time in which you will call the actual people receiving the phone calls. So if you don't want anyone to receive a call until at least 9 a.m. their time, we'll start calling, and we'll identify the area code of their phone number. We'll assign that area code to a time zone, and then the system will automatically know what time it is for them. So if you want to start calling at 8, but you don't want to call anybody before 9, you will not be able to make calls in the Pacific Standard Time Zone because it's too early. But the later time zones will be open. This will have the reverse effect. Let's put this and say at 4 p.m. we want to stop calling. So this will stop calling people at 4 p.m. their time. However, you want to continue running until 5 p.m. the Pacific Standard Time. So if you were to set this as an earlier time, keep in mind that you're only going to be calling people in the Hawaii or Alaskan time zones, as you basically said you don't even want to call in the Western time zone after 4 p.m. But you want to continue running in the Western time zone until 5. So it can get a little confusing. Also, another thing to mention, if you're not familiar, is the system allows you to upload caller ID lists. You'll notice here I put one caller ID. If, for example, you have phone numbers for every area code in the country, you could upload that into the caller ID group, and our system will automatically match the area code to the call. If you don't have an area code to match, it will randomly select any of the available phone numbers to make the call. So we'll click submit. You'll see the campaign has been created. I can still edit the speed. All I have to do is hit play, or here I can even send a test call. So that's it for setting up the campaigns. Now let me give you, I'll attach to this video a sample of the audio file that was created from this call by making a test call to myself. So here it is.
Hello, Mickey Mouse. This is an important call from a debt collector. You currently have an outstanding balance of $12,546 with Capital One. If you do not make this payment, we must file a lawsuit against you in the Orange County Superior Court for the state of California. Thank you for your attention to this matter.